You are listening to Charting Cryptos, Commodities, and Currencies. Yes, we have added currencies into the mix. Let's jump first into cryptocurrencies. Before we get to commodities and real currencies, we see that Bitcoin is up some for the day. This is the 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin chart, but it is still moving along, hopefully headed down. We can see that we've reached a lower low so far this week. And I'm hoping that things will keep going in that direction. I want us to start getting back to something that is chartable, like I have said for many months here. We can see, though, where things really popped up over these last 24 hours. You can see where things had bottomed out and then really started moving up. So we will keep an eye on things, see where they go, and continue to move along. Bitcoin, of course, Bitcoin is the big daddy. It affects everything else in the market. Now, we look at Ethereum, and we can see that Ethereum, again, some indecision this week. We had indecision 2 weeks ago, and then last week we had things go up in Ethereum, and now it's sort of sliding sideways again. Again, in the last 24 hours, we can see where things bottomed out and started moving up strongly. Again, sort of following what was going on with Bitcoin. We'll continue to keep an eye on things, see where they go on these charts. Again, I just keep getting hopeful that as cryptocurrencies move along, they'll reset themselves and give us something that we can track. Because if we can't track it, folks, we can't trade it. If it's not chartable, it's just gambling. And of course, we want to take as much of that out of the picture by doing two things. That is, using the charts to help us forecast what is going to happen in the future based upon what's happened in the past patterns. And again, charts that move effectively. And in addition to that, using the skills that we have with things like the average true range on the 2-day chart to set us one average true range for either the up or down move that commences, to be able to take some profit off the table, perhaps half of our trade amount, and then let the rest of that ride until things turn against us, or until the move actually, we can see it coming to an end, or we've taken the profits we want and we pull out of the trade with, again, a profit. These are practice trades. We're not a stock calling service. We want you to practice with us. Watch how things work. Listen, learn, and see if you can do this, because I know you can. I've been able to figure it out. You'll be able to figure it out. Practice 10 to 15 minutes each and every day. That is all we ask. Let's look at what's up with the 24-hour chart. Again, we're looking at Bitwise Top 10 Cryptocurrency Index Fund. And I'm sorry, that's the Bitcoin's a 24-hour-a-day chart. This is just the ETF, but it tracks the top 10 cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin being the biggest one, next to that Ethereum, and then the other top 8 weighted as per market share. So again, many times it looks a fair bit like what's going on with Bitcoin. And I have to keep stretching this out because the movement is not very great. So you can actually see what is going on. These last 2 weeks slipping sideways, still sort of in a down pattern. And again, what we are waiting for. And, this is what I want to start seeing more of. What we've seen here lately. We want to see things go up and go down. We want it to look more like that S&P 500 chart on SPY. We want to find things that are trackable. So we're still looking and hopeful for that. We're going to leave cryptocurrencies and go to commodities. We have 3 charts for you to look at. The first is corn. Looks like corn has potentially reached a bottom, and over these last 2 weeks, corn has started to move up. We, of course, saw it initiate where we had this bottom here. Again, not a whole lot of high volume here in the corn that we can show you, but it's about average. We saw where things bottomed out, turned around, and then have been moving up over the last 2 weeks, up for the day 0.34%. Gold continuing again overall to move down, reaching again not a lower low. That lowest low was 2 weeks ago, But again, continuing to move down on the charts. Those of you who tune in every day, you know we talk about gold each and every day. We're tracking that as one of our commodities. And copper perhaps has reached a short-term bottom and might be turning around. We have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3.5 two-day candles moving up this week, trying to turn around, breaking that trend and perhaps moving up. We'll see which way copper goes. Could that portend good things in industry? Perhaps. When copper's not doing well, shows there's not a whole lot going on in industry, in many industries, because copper is a bellwether and is used in many of them. But those are the really 3 charts we have for you to just look at. Not a whole lot else happening in commodities. Now, let's go and take a look at where we are on some of these currencies. We talked last week, and I did not lock in the changes that we made on commodities. We have seen the peak in FXE, which is, of course, the euro, peaked actually peaked the week beginning the 24th of March, slowly dying, moving over and heading down. We saw a real acceleration last week with that high volume. And then again, things continuing to move down this week as the euro reached its short-term top and has now moved back over, going down. Will it find a bottom somewhere around where it bottomed out before at the $97 mark or so? We'll wait, watch, and see, but it does appear to be moving down, going into the 4th week of down movement. Now we look at what's up with the British pound sterling. It, of course, topped a little bit later. No, about the same time, maybe a week. Let's see. Yes, a week later than we saw things top with the euro, and then slowly tried to edge over, going down, not nearly as clean as we saw with the euro. Actually, the low, the intermediate or the most recent low, the week beginning the 22nd of May. Let's go into Japan and check out the yen. The yen, of course, has been going down for many weeks. Again, another down week starting, down for the day 0.15%. We can see where we had those spikes in volume. Don't really know quite what that means for us here. But again, the Japanese yen continuing in that down move. What about the Swiss franc? Well, the Swiss franc going into its 4th week of down movement after peaking back on the week beginning the 1st of May. And, not a lot to see necessarily with the Canadian dollar. It's just sort of been languishing, sliding sideways. Is up some for the week, but again, nothing excited about trying to figure anything out as to what's going on there. And the Australian dollar, after 3 weeks of down moves again and just a long sideways slide, is it going to really take off and go up? It's possible, but we've seen it try and die. So not super excited about that. Again, if it does start to get some steam and really take off, well, might be something to look at, but nothing I'm super excited about. That is where we are on our little basket of currencies. And of course, we started with cryptocurrencies, looked at a few commodities. Not a whole lot going on this week so far, but we'll continue to keep our eyes open, pay attention to real things, particularly like currencies and commodities. And of course, we've got those cryptocurrencies thrown into the mix. We always love to hear from you. Hope that, again, you'll broaden your horizons, find things that you might be interested in trading. With ETFs, you can trade almost anything, it seems. My friends, God bless. All the best. We always love to hear from you. Don't hesitate to reach out to us, CW@chartingwealth.com.